Hello, thank you for joining us on this beautiful Saturday morning. On the show today, we are going to be discussing an important current issue in agriculture, the right to repair. With us today is Carly Schaefer, Public Relations Specialist from John Deere, Mechanic Owen Sturp, and Mechanical Engineer Coy Peterson. They will be helping us understand our Equipment Corporation's position on the right to repair. To discuss the rural agricultural perspective is Olivia Paulson, representing her family's fifth-generation farm, Walden mechanic Wyatt Christensen, and American Farm Bureau Federation representative Jada Thompson. Iowa is ranked as the second largest agricultural producing state, with $29 billion in agricultural sales. There are 85,000 farms covering 30.6 million acres. Iowa is agriculture. With the inherent risk of farming due to weather and markets, farmers have to have access to functioning equipment when the small window of opportunity presents itself. Being able to repair on-site or in close proximity to the farm is essential to a successful season. This is one of the many positions that those that are in support of the right to repair bill argue. When looking at supporters of the right to repair, their main concerns are the cost, the impact on the local economy, and the time associated with repairs. Agriculture has become an industry reliant on equipment and technology. Due to the efforts of many corporations such as John Deere, farmers are able to produce more with less. One farmer can typically feed 166 people with the help of advancing technology. On average, companies will invest numerous years into the research and production of new equipment prior to releasing it to the public. With the increased complexity of technology, companies are concerned about software modification. Other concerns for those on the con side are the investment on creation, safety, and the resources already available. That is why they believe in the corporation's right to control repairs. American Farm Bureau Federation has been leading the charge, representing the farmer over the right to repair. Ms. Thompson, could you speak on the efforts of the AFBF?
As you know, the American Farm Bureau Federation is the voice of agriculture. We work alongside farmers and ranchers to educate, advocate, and ensure a sustainable future of safe and abundant food, fiber, and renewable fuel for our world and nation. To do this, farmers and ranchers must be able to have access to operating equipment when the conditions are right. With many of the restrictions that have been put in place for agriculturalists to repair equipment themselves or by local mechanics, this has slowed the return to the field. The American Farm Bureau Federation has been working to break down the barriers that have impeded the farmer's ability to produce food, fiber, and fuel. This is why we advocate for the right to repair.
Wyatt Christensen, owner of Christie's, what brings you here today?
I feel as if I cannot provide the services for my customers that they need so they can quickly return to farm or field. With the limitations put on mechanics like myself, I've not only impacted our bottom line, but also increased the time and money farmers spend to have access to their $500,000 equipment. Farmers should choose who repairs this equipment.
Also with us, we have Olivia Paulson. Olivia, please share with us how you have been impacted by the repair regulations.
This last spring was very difficult. When the conditions were right, I was delayed waiting for repairs. Being held up can make or break a season. Having the right to repair my own equipment or having a local mechanic would have been the difference between profit and loss. With all the uncertainties associated with farming, equipment repairs don't have to be one. Repairs should be the farmer's choice.
Representing the con side, Carly Schaefer, please enlighten us on John Deere's position.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this important issue for both farmers and manufacturers. At John Deere, we pride ourselves as an innovative leader in precision agriculture, construction equipment, and technology solutions. Customers have ranked us #1 in innovation. This takes time and money to research, experiment, and implement new and emerging technologies for those producing food, fiber, and fuel for our ever-growing population. To ensure these technologies can continue to operate efficiently and safely, John Deere feels there must be some regulation in the maintenance of equipment.
Owen Sturk. He also represents the con side and is a John Deere mechanic.
With many new software upgrades over the past few years, we have been busier than normal. We've been dealing with customers that are upset with the restrictions that have been put in place, circumventing their own ability to repair in the field.
Our final guest today is Coy Peterson. Coy, could you share your perspective as an engineer who has been involved in the implementation of software?
I appreciate the invitation to speak on this issue. I feel like the last 10 years of my career has been changing at such a drastic rate, and it's been challenging to keep up to ensure we're meeting the needs of all of our customers.
Today, our goal is to gain a better understanding of the right to repair. With panelists on both sides of the issue, we hope to determine if farmers have the choice to control repair, or if corporations have the right to control repairs.
As I mentioned earlier, this last spring was very difficult. After being in the field for 2 hours, I had an emissions code error that stopped planning. After upgrading our equipment with a John Deere 2021 8R280 for $362,500, we thought we wouldn't have any problems. I called up Christie's to see if they could come out to service the tractor, and they told me that they couldn't work on it. I was directed to the nearest John Deere dealership with maintenance, which was 34 miles away in Mount Vernon. This led to increased expenses of $165 an hour for a John Deere service technician to come out to work on it, or $222 to haul it, and $130 an hour to repair it. The decision we had to make was difficult, but it had to be done. This is why I believe in the farmer's choice.
This is the same thing the American Farm Bureau Federation has heard from farmers and agriculturalists around the country. Increased costs for repairs at John Deere dealerships and the time to get the repairs done are causing lots of frustration. With other inputs increasing at the rate of 14% over the last 2 years, farmers cannot take the extra hit on equipment that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. This is why farmers should have the choice to repair.
While John Deere understands the frustration of agriculturalists, we must also consider the commitment to innovation and advancement of technology that John Deere puts into its product. As technologies advance, the impact of trying to repair without complete understanding of the software could have a dramatic impact on the functionality of the equipment as a whole. As we discussed with the Equipment Dealers Association, while we support the customer's right to maintain and repair their own equipment, we do not support customers modifying embedded software due to risks related to safety, emission controls, and the uncertainty it creates in the aftermarket. This is why John Deere believes in the corporation's right to control repairs.
Mechanics have a vast knowledge and understanding of the technology of the machinery we work on every day. But with the restrictions John Deere put on repairs, they have stripped us of our livelihood, the ability to get farmers back to the field as soon as possible, and negatively impacted the rural local economy. I believe in farmers' choice to repair.
With the changing restrictions for mechanics, I understand that it is impacting their businesses. However, John Deere also contributes more than 6,000 jobs to Iowans each year, employing many rural citizens.
At the facility in Mount Joy, we're continuously testing out new software and technology to make it easier for our consumers to make repairs. However, we feel some things should not be adjusted, including safety protocols and emission controls. That's why we support the corporation's right to control repairs.
Wyatt, I understand the frustration that you and other local mechanics have. However, with the new software, we have found quite a bit of evidence that without understanding, unintentional errors occur during the repair process. This leads to more expense and more downtime for farmers.
If we spend money to purchase a product, we should be able to choose where we get it repaired.
What are the concerns with anybody being able to repair equipment rather than having John Deere mechanics working on it?
John Deere is mainly concerned with people repairing their own equipment as it may result in unsafe operation of machinery, disruption of machine capabilities and performance, emissions controls, and the voiding of warranties.
We do have the customer service advisor that is readily available for local mechanics. We have had many positive reviews from a variety of mechanics that agree with advanced technology, you need advanced tools. Carly, what else is John Deere doing to help farmers and mechanics?
We are in the process of setting up product service demonstrations, trainings in the way of seminars and clinics to help both farmers and mechanics. Manuals as well as onboard diagnostics will be available through fair and reasonable terms electronically. However, we are very proud of the work that we have put into the customer service advisor that is available for both farmers and mechanics.
Yes, the customer service advisor is available. That is $3,160 for 1 year service. Why does this product need to be for 1 year?
The customer service advisor is available for that set price for 1 year, as with the ever-changing upgrades to the software, we want to make sure that customers are using the most up-to-date technology so as to get back into the field as quickly as possible.
Sales of John Deere's repair services are 3 to 6 times more profitable than sales of equipment. Why do you think they want the services to occur at a John Deere dealership? John Deere already maintains an agricultural equipment market of $68 billion. This accounts for 50% of the North American large tractor combine markets.
Yeah, I would agree with this. The cost for repairs are already remarkably high, and with this economy, they're skyrocketing even more. I even have some friends who are turning to older models of equipment because it is easier to repair the parts rather than the software.
I completely understand, but we've really taken the farmers' needs into account. However, we have still not figured out how to separate the software for operation with the software for safety, like emissions embedded in the equipment.
According to the new Memorandum of Understanding between the American Farm Bureau Federation and John Deere, signed on January 8, 2023, John Deere will make certain accommodations available for farmers and independent mechanics.
We are very pleased with this memorandum of understanding, but still think there is some work to do.
How does this memorandum affect local mechanics like myself to be able to help family farms like Olivia's?
It really helps establish guidelines for all parties involved in the operation, manufacture, and repair of agricultural equipment.
There are 5 main purposes behind the Memorandum of Understanding, and they include allowing farmers to operate and work on their equipment quickly, providing tools and software, assuring no safety controls are modified, protecting the intellectual property of the manufacturer, and complying to federal and state guidelines.
This memorandum does take a step forward towards providing rights to both sides of this issue. The American Farm Bureau Federation and John Deere have agreed to work together to develop a process for educating farmers and independent repair facilities on the tools, software, and resources available to repair and maintain agricultural equipment. We appreciate John Deere's willingness to engage in the conversation and take action to support farmers and mechanics while maintaining their innovation in the agricultural industry.
Thank you very much for joining us today to discuss the pros and cons of the right to repair. Carly, Owen, and Coy shared John Deere's perspective on maintaining investment on creation, safety, and the many resources available. Jada, Wyatt, and Olivia shared the rural agricultural viewpoint dealing with cost, the impact on the local economy, and time. I feel like I have a better understanding of this issue and how it affects both sides. As always, on Iowa Ag Now, we strive to better inform our viewers so that they can make informed decisions. So what do you think? Farmer's choice or corporation's right?